they would like to speak. And if you would, and if I could ask you please just to stand so that we can hear you well, and also just state your name and address for purposes of our being able to contact you.
Okay. I have a little bit of a sore throat, but Ellen Shankle, and do you know my address? 2443 Woodchuck Street, Northeast Canton, Ohio, 44705. And I am here to speak about the dog pound. I consider myself an advocate for the elderly, the disabled, children, basically anybody, the people and the animals that have no one else to speak for them. Unfortunately, the only thing I've had to come to this office for is the animals. And I have been in this office far too many times. This dog pound is a shambles, and you are responsible. There's no one else that's responsible. You three and you, sir, because you are brunt of the responsibility, because the commissioners turn to you and the warden turns to you for advice. You're responsible. We can't change it without you. You're the only ones. And the past commissioners, because I dealt with them time and time again. They created some bogus group that overlooks it. I've been to many of their meetings. I give those women and gentlemen much credit for working hard to make a few changes. But it has not stopped the deputies from killing animals. Outright killing and abusing animals. Many of you have seen the tapes. You've watched the abuse over and over, not just once. You know it's happening. You know it's going on. Do you close your eyes? I'm not sure how you sleep at night. Because I know when I was there every day volunteering, I had trouble sometimes going home at night sleeping when I knew what went on every day. When I knew the deputies didn't care. Believe me, not every one of them. But the ones that have been there so long, these men were there when all you did was walk in, you caught the dog, and in 3 days it went down. Nobody cared. It wasn't anything but a thing. That's all these were. And in 3 days we knew we'd get rid of it. That's not what they are anymore. The volunteers came in there years ago, and they have created a sanctuary for these animals, and they've worked very hard to network and to find homes for as many of these animals as possible. Much of that is through the volunteers. Many of us take these animals in our home, and then we adopt them out. We foster these animals. We've worked very hard to create a huge community of fosters. We do all we can. We can't do it all. We've asked for your help. We've come to you time and time again. You turned your backs on us. You've allowed what's gone on. You are the problem as far as I'm concerned. Not the warden, because you're her boss. You tell her it's okay. It's not the union. You've used the union as an excuse as far as I'm concerned. You say, well, she has to give them a warning. No. I'm sorry. There's no union in the world that says it's okay to murder. If you murdered a fellow employee, would your union say, no, I didn't give them enough warnings? Would they really? This was a living thing that was allowed to bleed to death. And she gave him a warning. A warning. While that animal lied and bled to death. While it just laid there in pain and misery. And his only consequence was a warning. And all of you are satisfied with that. Completely satisfied. Do any of you have a response, is what I'd like to know.
This is a section for public speaks, and this is an opportunity for the public to present their concerns and their grievances. This is not a section or a time on the agenda, by the way, for a dialogue.
Okay.
Let's go back to the end of the agenda. Commissioners' comments and questions on any matters either on today's agenda or of other concerns. nothing further, is there any motion for adjournment?
So moved.
There's a motion and second to adjourn. It's 2:11 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
What specifically are you asking the commissioners to do?
I think that a complete overhaul of the pound at this point. They probably need a new. They need to look at maybe a new warden at this point.
So you've given up
On Reagan.
on the current warden? She's been there a little over a year?
I haven't seen enough changes to be happy with it, and there's a few other deputies I think I'd like to see gone. There's still a couple deputies there that I am not happy. The one that last year killed a dog too quickly, remember? The dog that went, the woman she had called, and her dog was put down within 24 hours. That deputy's still there. There's a lot of issues still going on.
Do you have names of specific deputies
No.
that you
I'm not giving you names.
Okay.